Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tier List podcast. I am Mangan, joined today by Collins,
Hey guys, nice to be here, ready to talk about the power of love.
Neil,
Hello.
and Patrick.
Hello.
And today, this is quite a special episode, really, because it's the first one, really, of a fan-requested video, requested by Alicia, a mate of mine, who wanted to talk about Power Ballads. So, what do we think about that, guys?
Great category.
It is a really good category, to be
Looking
fair.
forward to it.
On Alicia's behalf, I do want to put something in the tier list though as a masterpiece, like an extra review will, and that is Alice Cooper's Poison. That's just for her.
Okay.
Not for our benefit.
Just imagine that's there.
Yeah, that is. Imagine it's
Imagine
there.
I've never listened to it, but just imagine it's there.
You want to let us know beforehand with that one, and we'll just put it there as like you suggest this topic. We'll let you have one song where you want it to be.
No, I just decided this. To be honest with you, this wasn't a plan.
Well then.
But,
anyway, yeah. Well, let's get this on. Let's get this on the road. Paddy, I believe you want to start.
I do want to start, and I want to start with one that's not going to cause too much debate, I don't think, and that's Macy Gray. I Try. Now, I think you're all going to agree with me here because you've all got ears. It's impossible not to agree with me. Good song ruined by a bad singer. Do we agree?
You know what? I listened to this for the first time when I was walking outside today. I had no idea who Macy Gray was or anything. And I was listening to that song and I just thought, this is weird. This is weird. Like, how can you take that song seriously when the singer has a voice like an indescribably weird voice? Is that harsh to say?
Oh, I completely agree, Neil. That's why I've put it like in one of my lesser tiers, because I actually like the song, but it's ruined by her awful singing. It's such an unpleasant vocal to listen to.
I think that's a bit harsh. Like, you're making it sound like
not.
It's
have you heard the song?
Yeah, of course I have.
Her vocals are pretty much unlistenable. They're horrible to listen to.
Come on, she's won a Grammy.
But
I think a few of these have won Grammys, to be fair.
So I think Meghan Trainor's won a Grammy, mate.
No, that's not true. Surely.
I think she might have been nominated, but I mean, even that's bad enough. I mean, there's low quality these days.
That's the thing. I think it is a bit harsh. I think it's a good song.
Yeah, but
I think it's not like it wouldn't pass the decent mark.
I agree with you on the song part, but it's ruined by her singing. Simple as. Like, it's not listenable because of her singing. If someone else sang it, it would probably be in one of the top 2 tiers, I think.
So who would you have probably to sing it if you could pick anyone?
Oh, mate, that's put me under pressure. That mate.
It has.
Whitney Houston.
No, more of like a country singer, like
Dolly Parton.
Like a Carrie Underwood or a Taylor Swift or something.
Or a Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray, you know what? Billy Ray, that's a man who can carry any song.
Yeah, I think more of a country singer, but I don't know. To me, I literally put it in my ears are bleeding because her voice makes my ears bleed.
I agree. I don't know. Were you guys aware of Macy Gray before this? I wasn't. I had no idea who I was listening to. I just thought it was weird.
Well, see, all I know her from is because she's somehow made it into a number of films. Like, she was in Spider-Man and Scary Movie 3. So I know her for her very lacking filmography, of which she mostly just plays herself in cameos.
All I've heard is the name. I knew she was a singer. I didn't know this was one of her songs. I heard the song before. I think I've heard it sung by someone else, and I liked it. But clearly it's original by her, and she ruins it. She ruins a perfectly good song, in my opinion.
I do agree. It's the best you could say. This is a wood skip.
I agree with Collins.
Yeah, I'm gonna say My Ears Are Bleeding.
I think it's a bit harsh. My Ears Are Bleeding. Like you say, it is a good song. Maybe the vocals get rid of it, but if you say it's a good song, then it's like, yin and yang in it.
But the vocals are the most important part of the song.
Yeah, I have to admit, I was distracted by the weirdness of the vocals. I paid no attention to the song. That's how bad I thought.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying My Ears Are Bleeding.
I'm saying we'll skip. Oh, it's going to end up in My Ears Are Bleeding because you have to decide and vote.
But I don't think you'd be that bothered about that. You know?
I mean, it hasn't killed me off really.
Go on, should we go one of your picks next? Then,
Yeah.
Wait. Which one's my? Which
it's the one on the right hand side, far right hand side, the one with the afro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I am going. I'm trying to think where to start. I've got 5, not so much contentious songs, but like ones I'm interested. You know what? I am going to go with the Goo Goo Dolls with Iris. What a masterpiece that is. It is probably one of the best songs. Actually, I've got some notes here. Let me get them out. It is ranked on Billboard's. It's ranked first on Billboard's top 100 pop songs between 1992 and 2012. That's how much of a legacy this song has. I love it. I think of it as, I do think of it as a masterpiece. The lyrics, the tune of it, and the way it's sung all together make it perfect for me. Would love to know your guys' thoughts.
Oh, we'll go with me then. I was waiting for you guys to speak. Well, yeah, no, I agree. I think it's an absolute masterpiece. I love the lyrics as well. The instrumental is great. There's a brilliant like orchestral breakdown, like in somewhere in the middle, which is amazing. And the vocals as well in the chorus, they're incredible and all around brilliant song. And I'd be looking at masterpiece for this as well.
Yeah, I do also agree. I also really like the way that it's played as well. Like, do you know the guitars, they're all tuned in a weird way. Like they're all tuned to D, apart from one. It sounds unique.
When you think about this, I remember being in a pub listening to this song. I started crying listening to it because I hadn't heard it in ages, and it was just proper emotional. I would like to say, oh yeah, God, yeah, I wasn't. Let's just say I wasn't stone cold sober for it.
It's not one of those songs that's overplayed though, which is important because a lot of these songs are overplayed, and it lessens them, in my opinion.
It's overplayed on my Spotify playlist.
Well, I mean, that's down to you, but it's not a song that I hear that often, but it does like kind of have that nostalgic feel to it when I listen to it. You know, it's a brilliant song.
I find it quite remarkable that the song now is pretty old, right? But I reckon like that song could come out like now and it still kind of feels contemporary. Like, I find that amazing. Like the song just has such great staying power that it could just sound like it came out right now.
I mean, that's very true. I think if anyone could pull it off, you wouldn't be surprised if it was released now. It has got one of those tunes to it, and I think that's perfect about it.
Mm-hmm. Should we vote?
Masterpiece.
I'm saying masterpiece.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah.
It's really annoying because I think I've chosen 2 masterpieces by accident.
Well. Do we all agree masterpiece then?
It is.
We got a very good.
Oh, you got a very good. Is that just because I said the other one's masterpiece? Yeah, go on.
No, to me, like, yeah, it's a very good song, but it's not actually that memorable to me. But it's a really good song, and it deserves to be high up on the tier.
I kind of reckon it's hard to say because we haven't put many of the other songs in this list there yet. And a lot of those other songs, there are arguably a lot more like grandiose than this. This is quite like stripped back, right? So it's hard to compare. Probably it seems like a masterpiece right now, doesn't it? But I still think that at the end.
At the end of the day, the only thing that we've got to compare it to, really, in terms of what we've talked about,
is that why it's a masterpiece?
Well, let's put it in masterpiece now, and then if we want to change it at the end, we can consider it.
And I'll have to decide and vote, which is cracking about it. Let's go on to Neil. What have you brought with us today?
Show and tell.
Slight change of tack. How about a metal power ballad in the form of Fade to Black by Metallica? Metallica do a surprising amount of power ballads, really. They're for a metal band. They make some damn emotional songs. Fade to Black is up there with their most popular. I don't think it's their best song, but it's a pretty good song with, deep lyrics and a great few guitar solos in it, which is why it's a pretty good song.
To be fair, Neil, you've done it again. Last time you had my favourite song that I hadn't heard out of all of them, and this is again my favourite song of the ones I hadn't heard. I think this is brilliant. I like the guitar breakdowns. Are some of the best electric guitar I've heard in a song. I just love the eerie feel of the song. Like I love like eerie music. The instrumental's amazing. For me, I like. Maybe I'm being generous again, but for me, it's a masterpiece. That's amazing.
I think, like you said, Neil, Fade to Black probably isn't Metallica's best song. There's a couple more that can be up there, but I think this is a very good attempt at a power ballad for what it brings. The guitar and the lyrics are really good too, and add a lot to it. The performance.
Yeah, I just agree with you guys. To me, at the end of the day, my favorite Metallica song is "Enter Sandman."
Oh, of course. There's no doubt. Is that ECW we're talking?
Oh
about?
yeah. It's my wrestling side showing, but it's also a really good song. So at the end of the day, it does have the unfortunate thing where I'm thinking of tearing. It's like, yeah, but if it's not something that I consider their best work, can it really be a masterpiece?
I think this is very good. I think this is very good.
For me, I'm not as familiar with their other work. Like for me, as individually, I love the song individually.
It is quite damaging when you say you're not familiar with Metallica.
Well,
there is one.
Obviously I know Metallica, but I haven't listened to a lot of Metallica music in the past.
But like I said before, I think very good is probably the right tier for it. I reckon.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have said masterpiece, but it seems like he's saying very good.
I put it in very.
Neil's got the last vote.
I put it in very good. I think there are some other Metallica songs you could like Metallica Power Ballads that you could actually argue as masterpieces. I might suggest one. One is a damn. I don't know I think you could class that as a power ballad, right? A metal power ballad. It's got the build. It's got the emotion. That could be a masterpiece because I think it's better than Fade to Black. But Fade to Black's on this list, so I'd say it's very good.
Yeah, okay, very good. I think that's pretty decent.
Fair enough.
I think this has been a good, quick start. We had quite in agreement with each other, really.
Yeah.
Let's change that. Collins, what have you got?
Boys, here we go. I'm going to talk about the theme song to the movie Armageddon, Aerosmith's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. What a song. Genuinely, this is a really good song. It's got a lot of emotion to it. The raw power of the lyrics getting broken down. Like I said, it's got the build. It's a very somber verses, which builds into its massive chorus. And admittedly, there's a bit of Bruce Willis bias there with it playing over Armageddon as Bruce Willis sacrifices himself so that his daughter can live and date the other guy.
I was going to say, I think that's being very generous. Just as daughter can live, that the entire planet can live.
Well, he didn't say goodbye to anyone else.
Oh, that means no one else exists in the world.
Turns out it was actually going to be a really small rock only hitting his daughter.
Think of all the men lost in that mission. Then
was this worth it? Yes.
I might be a bit controversial here.
Oh, you're gonna break me heart.
I think it's decent. I think the verses. I think the chorus itself is amazing and iconic, but I don't like the verses. I don't know why. I think his voice grinds it a bit.
I like the song. I think it's catchy. I like his vocals in the chorus. I kind of agree with you a bit with the verse. There's this annoying sort of backing piano that plays throughout the verse that I found quite annoying, but that's a small thing. It doesn't bother me that much. Ultimately, I love the orchestral start to the song and then the build up to the big chorus, super catchy. I like it.
Like I said, the chorus is iconic.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's dragged down by the verses, which is a bit of a shame.
It's very rare that you get a song that has a better verse than a chorus, though. Like mostly choruses are better than verses.
I quite like the verses. What is so the problem is the voice to you?
Yeah.
I can see that. Aerosmith's vocals, Steven Tyler, his vocals are unique to him, and I can definitely see. I think that most people's problems with Aerosmith is they don't like the lyrics or the vocals to their songs. So if that is your problem with it, I mean, you've chosen the most common problem people have with
And that's
with Aerosmith.
That's the thing. For his chorus, though, he lets it all out, and that's like it makes it great. But like it really grinded me where it was like, because when I saw the song, I was like, oh yeah, I know this song like dead on. What one of the great choruses, but I forgot like what the verses were like, so I was disappointingly surprised.
I'll come out for the Steven Tyler crew. I think it's amazing. Oh God, it's so powerful. And I love the feeling the song gives out. Like it's so grand, isn't it? The way it opens, it feels like a big event. And the song's very special to me. I once sang the song at a Chinese karaoke when I was absolutely drunk out of my mind on Baijiu. So that was a good time.
I did not expect to hear that one.
It is one of those songs that kind of iconic for karaoke. Like, it is one of those songs. But just because it's done for karaoke is a bad thing. Like, karaoke can get associated with like negative connotations a lot, but that just means the song is catchy rather than it's like not brilliant.
I think I think that with your comment about the verses, I think if the verses were sung any other way, it would take away from the chorus.
I actually don't. I don't mind the verses either.
I don't know. Like I said, for the chorus especially, Steven Tyler lets it all out. Like he proper blasts it, and I think that's what makes it so iconic. And I almost wish he did it similarly in the verses.
But that would take away from the chorus. It's the fact that he's holding it in. It's like, because the entire song is similar to the movie. It is about growing up, his daughter growing up, and how much he how much he wants to like be part of his daughter's life. That's the point. It's meant to be a case of he's trying to hold back his feelings in the verses and then when the chorus breaks out, it's like, no, I don't want to miss a thing. Because it's a case where if the verses were sung differently, if the verses were sung similar to how the chorus is sang, you wouldn't think the chorus is special.
I don't know. I think I've already made up my mind about where I want it, to be honest with you.
All right then. Yeah. Well, I say we go to voting then.
Hold on, I'll raise you an interesting point. Just an interesting point here, right? A power ballad's supposed to be about emotion, right? Like you might say the best power ballads come from like real emotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it fair to say? I'm not saying I agree with this. That this is probably the most corporate song on this list, because this isn't a song written from the heart, was it? This was a song that was paid for the movie, and at the time, like Aerosmith got a lot of flack for actually taking on the song from the movie. Like they really got slandered for it, as it not being in the spirit of rock and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, fair enough. Nickelback's on this list, Neil. So
yeah, but to be fair, as we'll look into, that's maybe not the best argument to bring up.
Well, yeah, you want to go for most corporate, but no, I'll give you that. Yeah, it is. It's not as much as like he'll say that he's singing from the heart because he's relating it to his daughter as well. He didn't write it out of his true feelings. He might have been told the topic and then hey, go on, write it, and so he took inspiration from how he feels with his daughter as as the reason why the lyrics came out the way they do. But it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't change the fact that a corporation told them to sing a love song.
You know what though? It might be the best sounding corporate song I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely, if that emotion's fake, as it were, then it's a bloody good job.
I'm sorry, the best corporate song. Have you guys never heard of any of the DFS sales songs going out? You know, let's not go on the bandwagon here.
All right, go on. Let's vote. What do you
Decent.
guys want? Yeah,
I'm gonna say very good.
Neil.
I'm gonna say, because I love the sound of the song, that it's a masterpiece.
Oh.
Honestly, I love the sound of the song.
To me, as much as I do love this song, I have a better song on the list, so I'm gonna say very good.
Fair. That's fair.
Right, so we are now back to Patrick.
Well, we've covered a lot of older songs in this list, so I wanted to try and modernise it a bit more. Now, I'm going to talk about Camila Cabello, Never Be the Same. Now, I think a lot of you are going to laugh at me for this one, because when you're putting her on a list with like Led Zeppelin and these iconic artists, your first thought might be like, no, she doesn't belong here. But I actually do like this song. And I before I say anything, I want to know what you guys think. Listen, mate, Nickelback are on here as well.
Yeah, I think this might be one where you get outvoted.
I think it is, but I just don't. I don't want you to think because it's modern pop and it's Camila Cabello. She's not like an iconic artist like Led Zeppelin. I want you to just judge the song on its own and whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, that's fine. It's your opinion. But
before we start, I want to know where you'd put it on the list.
I don't want to admit.
That's why I'm asking.
It's not masterpiece. I just don't like thinking of doing that. Between decent and very good.
Oh.
But I think it's easy to say that because she's not as iconic an artist as some of these other people. I'm gonna say decent.
Okay. I
actually really like the song. I think her voice matches the song so well. I've lost my notes here. I don't know. The lyrics are good. And the falsetto building up to the chorus, the powerful vocals during the chorus. Yeah, right, she's not as established as the other artists, but please be fair to the song as well. That's what I'm asking.
A mother asking
be
not
fair,
to kill her child.
Be fair to it. Don't just judge her off a reputation.
I'm going to slightly defend Paddy in that I don't think it's a bad song.
Thank you.
It's completely forgettable, though.
I can get behind that, but I don't know. I like it.
I can see why you like it. It's just, I mean, looking at all the songs we've talked about and what we've got to come, it's the one song that I probably can recall the least of. It's not something that I find special, and to me, it's a wood skit. The
reason I put it in here is I thought, yeah, that's all right. Sorry, I thought you were putting bottom tier then. No, the reason I put it in here is just because I think it's a bit of an underrated song. I think it's a bit underappreciated.
I do like that you were so surprised that Collins didn't put it bottom tier.
Yeah, no, and I know Simon Cowell's a big fan of this song as well, and he's got a good ear for music.
Yeah, but his fashion sense is awful.
This is not. That's a good idea for a podcast.
Oh God, yes.
Top 10 designers, mate.
And it's just Simon Cowell, like being... Neil, what do you think of this? Because I am actually really interested to know what you think.
I don't think much of the song, to be honest. The song is forgettable. Is the right word for the song, isn't it? I mean, but I will say her voice is beautiful. Like her voice is incredible. Like she sounds amazing. If she was singing a song that had more substance, I think it'd be incredible. She sounds really, really good. But the song doesn't do anything for me.
She was the star. Was it Fifth Harmony she was in?
Yeah.
She was like the star of that, so she was like the Beyonce, the Cheryl Cole, in the sense that they were the massive breakout from it.
Cheryl
Yeah,
Cole.
I think that's a bit generous, but
Yeah.
thinking about what she
Definitely
brought out
couldn't
as
think
well.
of another girl
No, I
back.
couldn't. When I was right on it.
Oh.
But like, yeah, it's I'm reaching to saying conclusions is not. It's forgettable.
I think
for
I'm
me,
fine. I'm fighting a losing battle here.
I would say I'd probably say would skip.
Fair. I'm just happy it's not bottom. Because I
that
think
would
it's
be
got
really
something
unfair
about
to
it.
it.
I think it's got some. I completely agree with Neil. Her vocals sound brilliant on the song.
So
Song. So you know what? If you combine her with a good song,
Yeah.
not kind of poppy song, actually something with
Yeah.
emotional gravitas, it'd bang. But this is probably a skip.
maybe she could do I Try.
I was going to say,
Maybe
yeah.
so, yeah. I think that could work.
Get it on
We're
I Try.
on to something
All
here,
right,
lads.
everyone tweet Camille Cabello and say that we wanted to do I Try.
I actually think that could work. Fair enough.
Right, so
Let's put it in wood skip then.
I think that's a wood skip, yeah.
I prefer decent, but you know what? I've been outvoted, so fair enough.
You know what? I'm going to stick near the bottom of the barrel. And I am going to go with Mariah Carey's Without You. Neil, what were you saying before about something being corporate? You know, the idea of not having put emotion in. I am putting this in My Ears Are Bleeding for that, basically that reason. In 2008, Mariah Carey said of the song did a lot for me, but it's not really representative of me as an artist. How can you get behind a power ballad if they're not actually behind the power ballad itself?
And she's like one of the most arrogant
stars.
Very arrogant. So for her to admit that. But at the same time, I don't think it's bad as you're suggesting. I think she clearly got strong vocals on the and I think it's a brilliant song, the original as well. I think the cover is not anything groundbreaking in terms of like it's not anything really different. But I still think her vocals sound good, and it's an overall a good song.
In my opinion, it's a shot-for-shot remake of the original. Really. I don't think she tries anything really different to make the song unique in its own way. Like, it got the plaudits for it, but I think it was basically the same song. And I really want to know your guys as well.
I think I've been too harsh. At the end of the day, like you can't really criticize something for being corporate. After all, we've all just said we really like Aerosmith. But to me, this is decent. It's I find it quite nice. Like it's been said, she's got a great set of vocals on her, and she carries them well.
I have to say, I did not like the vocals in this song because, I agree completely. Mariah Carey has a great voice, but my word, whoever was producing this, did they just tell her to vibrato everything? Like, everything she says has vibrato.
Is she a ghost?
There's so much vibrato in that song that it could shake your house apart. Like, you're supposed to use that as kind of like, what should we say? It's just a little improvement, right? It's just like a little bit at the end that kind of makes it sound better. But every single word in that song has a silly amount of vibrato in it. It's ridiculous. It makes it sound insincere. You just kind of tell, like some executive went up to her and said, "Oh, you know that strong vibrato you have in your voice? Can you do that for everything?" That doesn't work.
Like I said, I think you're completely right. It's not something that it isn't her. Like that isn't her singing. With the Dennis Nilsson version, you could almost hear his pain, but for Mariah Carey, it's not another sort.
I agree with that in terms of the emotion. You captured the emotion better, but I think this song suits a woman's voice better, which is why I would find it more pleasant to listen to the Mariah Carey version. I'm along the lines of Collins. I think it's decent.
I think my ears are bleeding. I'm sticking with myself. I'm sticking with my gut here.
I would skip. I don't think it's terrible.
Hey.
Soulless.
Daddy, we won.
Hey, kind of. Wait. Oh yeah, we did, didn't we?
We did
Two
win.
decents. Yes.
I mean,
unlucky lad.
you're putting a song higher than where I wanted it to be. So who's the real winner here?
Well, it's a song that you
Mine
said
is-
was absolutely disgraceful. When you,
Or is that what I
because of-
want? Or is that what I wanted you to think?
Well, I mean, this is some top deception here, man.
I actually love it. Neil, it's up to you, son.
For crying out loud, Mangan. That's the song we're doing.
Oh.
What?
The name of the song's called For Crying Out Loud. How slow are you, lad? Come on.
Anyway, yeah, really strong performance. A song with a good build-up that kind of outstays its welcome, I would say. It's a song that goes on a bit too long after getting to its high points. And that's the big criticism I have. It's like it builds. It reaches the crescendo. Then it goes down again. And by that point, you've lost all interest.
That is so true. Like, I couldn't finish the song. I couldn't finish listening to it because it was just going on for so long.
You don't realise how lucky you were, Neil, because Paddy was rubbing his hands then, getting ready to smite this down.
I just thought you were gonna be like, this is like the best song of all time or something. So I'm happy I haven't said that. It's just because it's just I've covered this a lot. I have a short attention span. You've got to if you're gonna make a song 8 minutes long, you've got to keep me gripped. It just goes on too long, and for me it's boring. For me, it takes too long to get to the big bit at the end, which I do like when it finally gets to that point. But and as you said, then it carries on after that for another like 2 minutes or so, and you're like, come on, mate, have a day off. It doesn't need to be that long.
He did, because that's what he made Better Help, but we'll talk about that one later. I like Meatloaf as an artist, but I think this certainly isn't one of his strongest songs. I think he does a lot of like power ballad sort of stuff, and this is certainly one of his weaker attempts at it.
Yeah, I don't like Meatloaf as an artist. I think all his songs go on way too long, and that he's got his entire shtick out of Power Ballads, and it kind of takes away from all of his Power Ballads that he only does them, essentially.
Yeah, as I've said, just because a song's long doesn't mean it's deep, doesn't mean it's good. And I do agree, like Meatloaf as an artist, come on, mate. We've got lives to be getting on with, mate. Finish your song. That's what I say.
Yeah.
I actually like the texture of the song. The initial build-up is quite good. It's slow and it reaches like a powerful point. But the song could really finish after then. You don't you don't go on the roller coaster and then think immediately, well, unless it's a really good roller coaster, get to the bottom and wait in the queue to go along. That's what this song is. It's you get on the ride, you complete the circuit, then you queue again. But the song doesn't cut out the queue. You have to sit in the queue while you're listening to the song.
Yeah. I mean, it's that famous phrase, save the best till last. But he hasn't done that. He saved the best till about 2/3 in. And then the last is 2 more minutes of nothingness. And for me, for that reason, it's would skip, because I can appreciate the song and the effort that's got into it to not put it in my ears are bleeding, but I can't listen to a song that long if it's not going to captivate me for the full 8 minutes. So it's would skip for me.
Yeah, I agree, really. I think it is a would skip. I think, like I said, this is one of Meatloaf's strongest suits. Yeah, I don't think Paddy's just hit the nail on the head for me there. So would skip.
Yeah, my ears are bleeding. I don't like Meatloaf. Looking forward to talking about his next one on the list.
Me and you are going to be having words here, son.
Just to round off, I would skip it too. Like, literally, I would listen to like the first 4 minutes and then skip. That's exactly where it belongs.
Fair. Fair.
All right then.
Okay.
So we've reached me. Here we go. My next choice. See, I'm trying to think. Where do I want to go with this list? We've got because weirdly, and this is quite unique for us. We're only on our second through down, and we've got one in each category already.
Yay!
Hey, this is going well, lads.
That's quite good for us. We've just had a rubbish one, so I don't know if I want to go for a rubbish one, but I'm in the mood to talk about it now. So I'm going to talk about possibly the most well-known love song in Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On." This song.
What was that? Was that?
Yeah,
that was that.
That was me. That's me. Whenever this song's on, I hate this song. It's entirely built around the fact that loads of people like Titanic as the movie. It made Celine Dion's career, so good for her. But I just can't bear it when it comes on.
I think it's a Marmite song, isn't it? I think you either love it or you hate it. I actually love it.
I love it as well.
I feel a bit of a soppy girl.
I tear up a bit when I hear the end of it.
I feel a bit soppy for saying that, but the flute instrumental at the start is so nice, and her vocals, of course, like Celine Dion's one of the best vocalists, female vocalists or overall vocalists we've seen, and the song is just so iconic, and it gives me good feelings. It's emotional, gets me in the feels.
When she belts it out towards the end, can't help but get choked up a bit. When you're watching like a Twitter video of like Liverpool scoring the last minute, and you've got that in the background.
That's just the emotion of the song, and you can relate it to the Titanic, of course. I love it. I can understand why a lot of people don't love it. I can completely get the annoying part. I think it's a Marmite song for sure, but I'm on the love part.
I'm gonna get out with that now.
I have to question, the issue with this song in 2020 is that isn't it a very, very difficult song to take seriously anymore, considering it's been memed to death. It's interesting. I don't know about the death of Power Ballads, but when a Power Ballad becomes a meme and you associate it primarily with memes, your Power Ballad has kind of lost all emotional connection, right? Like, if you hear the song, do you really feel sad? Really feel emotion, or do you really just think, oh, it's that meme song?
I feel something.
I mean, I guess not anymore. The meme thing, the thing about the meme thing is it's not the fault of the song though. You have to. I feel like you've got to separate the song from that.
Could we say that possibly it's been brought to a more modern audience from the use of the internet and memes?
No, it's been made a joke out of, to be honest. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but
no one's listening to the song. They're listening to the chorus, and they're only listening to the chorus to then laugh at it because it's been paired with something.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sing the song, sing along to it without sort of having a chuckle on. Because you can't take it too seriously anymore, but at the same time, I don't feel like it's not the fault of the song. And when it was written and when it came out, I think it was probably a masterpiece that's been memed into lowerness.
Submission.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact you would ever suggest this song was a masterpiece, it just causes me rage.
I think you're being a bit harsh. Are you literally going to put this in My Ears Are Bleeding?
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think this is one of those songs you either put top tier or bottom tier.
I mean,
or no matter, depending on where you're coming at.
I honestly think this is going to go indecent by the end of this.
I'm saying masterpiece. I think it is. It's so iconic.
I don't think with her vocals you can say My Ears Are Bleeding. I mean, her vocals are amazing. I mean, it's a shame about the status of the song, really, but, vocals are beautiful. I'd probably say it's... I would skip it. I wouldn't listen to it.
And I think it's very good. So it's literally in the one tier that none of us chose.
Wow. We're sitting on the fence.
What we're saying is because it's my choice, my vote counts more, right?
No, we're
it
putting
is
it in decent because that's
no.
Because
In
that's
a
the
tie
average.
No, because we don't do average. Because in a
Oh.
tie for 2 for 2, you give it to the person who brought it up, which means in a tie, it goes to whoever brought it up. I brought it up. It goes in my years of bleeding.
Funny enough, that only ever happens when it's you choosing it.
This
Right,
is,
you know.
This is splitting hairs, you know.
Yeah, I think it should go in decent. I think the laws of average are the like.
Because I think it makes sense because you get people who love it, people who hate it. So really, overall, it balances in the middle.
It should stick in the middle.
Fine, I'll put it in decent. Don't ever say I don't do things for you guys.
Right, now we're back on Paddy.
Oh, we circle back to me.
Yeah.
I didn't have a song prepared. Have no fear. I'm quick on the mind. Stop Crying Your Heart Out by Oasis. Now we're talking about emotional songs here. Now this one really, really gets you emotional. Brilliant Oasis song. Not one like I could have easily had Wonderwall or Don't Look Back in Anger in this list, but that's boring. We all know where they'd go. This is one of their lesser known. It's well known, but lesser known songs.
I was gonna say.
No, it's well known, but you know when you compare it to Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger, I just think Liam's vocals on this really like capture the emotion of the song, and it's so weird when you see Liam's personality. It's so different to the type of music, which kind of shows his vocal versatility in terms of being able to cast emotion with his voice. And I think that's what comes across in this song. I think No Gallery is such a brilliant songwriter. And this is just an example of a brilliant band's brilliant song, if that makes sense.
You guys better start this one because I'm trying to have to think carefully of my answer.
When I was listening to everything today, when I was out on a walk, this was the song I ended up singing to myself as I was walking back. So I think that should say a lot. This is like out of all the songs that were on this list, this was the one that I thought was catchy enough that I was singing it after I stopped listening. It's good, isn't it? It's a good song. It's catchy. I don't really know how much I buy into the emotion of the song, really, but I like listening to it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, it's an Oasis song, so you know what you're getting. You're getting a very well done made and sung song. I think there's a reason why it's a lesser known song compared to some of their bigger ones. It's not as good as like some of their greatest work, but it's still a great song.
Yeah, it's such an authentic song. It's so simple, authentic, and I really do. Maybe you guys disagree, but I think it is quite an emotional song when I listen to it. Maybe my favorite song of theirs. But I'm not going to put. Well, actually, no, it's not my favorite song of theirs. Let's be honest, Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger are better.
Champagne Supernova as well.
Which is why I'm going to put it in very good. I'm not going to put it in masterpiece because I don't think it's complex enough to be there. But it's one of those songs you listen to it. You feel the emotion of it. His vocals sound brilliant.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'd say I would. There are better Oasis songs there. And as I said, I'm not entirely buying the emotional angle in it compared to some of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Really, I don't like Oasis as people, but as a band, they are really good. I'll probably have to put it very good because, like you said, there are quite a few other Oasis songs that are better and probably more well known.
It's simple but effective, this song.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Saying very good.
Like, it's not something you'd hear in the nightclub, but something you'd wish you would.
Well, you know, it's not always a bad thing. I'd put it very good then, yeah.
Oh my God. Right.
Happy with that.
Where am I going to put it? Right, where am I next? I've got a choice of 3, but I want to stick my masterpiece at the end, or my other one. I'm going to go with the Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. Very good song. Maybe decent, depending on what you look at. I like the...
And there's Mangan's vote.
Well, they're settled, right?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I think it's got really good, really good guitar to begin with. I think it's got good lyrics that really speak to you. You know, it's about sort of like eternal love, but also the inevitability of death. Really, it is kind of that sort of classic power ballad song, like original, one of the godfathers of it almost. And it also has that ending as well, which is completely different to what it holds as well.
To me, this is a great song for people with insomnia, because it'll send you right to sleep. Maybe this is controversial. It's probably an iconic song, but I think it's so boring. I think the vocals are so dull. I think it's so repetitive. I think the guitar's a decent little catchy guitar riff. It's nothing spectacular, but I just think it's a really boring song. It doesn't do anything for me.
For me, I think I'm actually more inclined to Paddy than I am to you, Mangan. I do say I think Paddy's a little too harsh. I do think it's a good song, but yeah, for like, but if you're gonna try and like claim like very good and a really great status, it doesn't have that like, oh wow, cult timeless feeling to me.
Neil?
And it's definitely an iconic song, isn't it? I mean, you know, that guitar riff is, you know, it's a staple of beginner guitar classes, isn't it? However, I reckon I have the same problem with this as I do with Stop Crying Your Heart Out. I'm not entirely sure with the sincerity of the song. Like, yeah, for example, there's a bit in the lyrics where, like, the singer whose name escapes me at this moment.
David Rosa.
Anyway, he sings a line about 40,000 men and women dying every day. You know, that's a number he absolutely pulled out of his ass.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
that is actually, true fact, that is a number he made up. Like, genuinely, the guy has no idea how many people died every day. That should, like, literally tell you about how insincere this song actually kind of is. I can't buy into it as a power ballad. Like, you're banding around like fake figures and all that kind of stuff. How can I buy in that you're sincere about your emotion and your aversion to death? You don't even care about getting the number right.
You know what's amazing about it as well? When people first listened to it, they actually thought it was going to be like a suicide pact. No word of a lie, because they heard lyrics about Romeo and Juliet being talked about. They believed that it was going to be a suicide pact with your lover or something.
Yeah, but people are idiots.
Like I said, whilst I think it's very good, I think it probably is going to be in the decent category from you guys.
Yeah, that's probably where I'd put it. I'd say decent.
I'm torn between Would Skip and My Razorblade. I think My Razorblade might be going too far, so I'll say Would Skip because I think it's sort of along the lines of the Meatloaf one. Now it's listenable, but it's dull and boring for me.
I would skip it, to be honest. Just, you know, I mentioned the insincerity, but also I agree, it's not really a very captivating song, is it? I mean, you know, you have that opening, but the rest of the song kind of just pedals on without doing much, I'd say.
Well, I have to decide and vote, don't I? So
that was very good.
I said decent. I ended up saying decent. Sorry about the.
No, you didn't. You said very good, but I think you guys are gonna vote for it.
Yeah, I said I think it's very good, but I'd probably put it decent in the tier.
He did change. Yeah. He did change to decent. So I'll put it decent. Put it decent. Then, if he gets to decide and vote.
Controversial.
I do like that the ambulance went past when we're talking about this song.
Us don't fear the reaper.
You know what? Those moments kind of work, you know, comedic timing and all that.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Who's next?
Neil, go on.
Where should I go next? Okay, how about Red Barchetta or Barchetta by Rush? And I point that out because Geddy Lee in this song pronounces Barchetta incorrectly. He says Barchetta. It's strange, right? Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's what they call red convertibles in Canada. Who knows? Anyway, I think Rush is a fantastic band, and this song is a song that tells a really, really good story. Like, a story that, through Neil Peart's amazing lyrics, you can just imagine in your head. And that's the joy of most Rush songs, just having the lyrics that are, like, so vivid that you can follow them in the story, creating, like, a really good emotional impact. And that's why I really, really like most Rush songs, and Red Barchetta is one of my favorites.
This is, don't take this the wrong way. For me, it's the least memorable song I listen to because I can't picture, I can't think of how it went. But that's not a bad thing because I've wrote some quite good notes about it. I think there's strong instrumental. The dynamics of the song are so good. The electric guitars are brilliant. The vocals aren't anywhere near as good as the music. I think the music is the main focal point of this song. For me, it's decent. It's not that memorable, but it's musically very good.
Some of my favorite songs are the ones that tell stories with their lyrics. They're not something where you're meant to get the meaning. It's literally they're telling a story of what's going on with their lyrics, and so naturally, I quite like this song. I like the song, the story of many classes of vehicles being illegal now, and the red Barchetta sports car being one of the ones that is illegal, and the story of this car. It's something that I can happily listen to. As a result, I agree with everything that Neil said. It's just a really good song in my opinion. I don't think it's quite a masterpiece, but it's very good to me.
I think honestly it's decent. I don't think it didn't really resonate with me in that sense. I do think it's got good instrumental and stuff, but it's something that didn't really stick to me in a sense. Like Paddy said, this is probably the most forgettable one in the tier list today. It just something that didn't really resonate with me.
Yeah, I think it's been the most forgettable song for me, but I feel like I don't want to be that harsh because I remember that by the notes that I've made, I've wrote some good stuff about it. I think musically it's very, very well put together, well composed. I just don't think it's that memorable, which is why I'm going to say decent.
You know, it's a thing with Rush. I think that like Rush as a band can be like so different. It does take some getting used to. About the vocals, I reckon, Geddy Lee kind of has that Steven Tyler thing. His vocals are out there. They are not mainstream. He sounds like a little girl most of the time. But like, if you can accept that and see Rush for what it is, which is, an experimental, unbelievable musical and lyrical journey, then you can get a lot out of it. It's not Rush's best song. I mean, there's a lot of Rush songs like this, but this is the one I thought maybe was the most ballady. So for me, it's a very good song, like most of Rush's songs, but it's not a masterpiece. I give that to something like Rush's Tom Sawyer. That's a masterpiece.
Oh wow, Tom Sawyer is such a good song. Like that's what I most think about with Rush. Like Tom Sawyer is such a tune.
I think we're putting this very good then, I guess, because Neil gets the final there.
Yeah, I guess we are.
Weird how you guys have all got the final say with your votes, except me and Celine Dion.
Listen, that was a 1v1
laws of average. It was like
laws of average. Oh, you can mop off.
Well, one had masterpiece, one had very good, one had would skip, and one had my ears are bleeding. What's the average in that?
You can tell we're trying not to swear with mob off.
Look, at the end,
I like that one. I'll write it down.
At the end of the day, we give the benefit to the person who brings it up with their vote and make it count more in the event of a tie. It was a tie.
Listen.
Shall we move on?
We're not debating the rules here. We're debating the songs.
Right. 1 point, beef, quickly before I bring up my song. Neil, the longer that you keep before bringing up the song that I'm waiting from you, the more I'm getting built up to debate this.
Hey,
So just to
The
keep
longer-
in mind,
the longer-
I am going to go on to my favorite band of all time, Bon Jovi, and I'm going to talk about possibly their most iconic song. In fact, iconic song because there's two that you fight out for that spot. But I've gone for "Living on a Prayer" with a bloody masterpiece. This song is fantastic, and if you disagree with me, I will leave and cry.
Okay, go on, do it.
No, I think of all, this undoubtedly out of all these songs, this is the most catchy. Like, it's got the most catchy, memorable chorus out of all of them.
I don't think anyone really had to listen to it to know what the
Like,
song
you
was.
you couldn't say it's a poor song because of how like memorable and catchy the chorus is. The only thing is, it's kind of one of those songs that does kind of get overplayed, but that's only because it's a good song and it's super catchy. Like, it's a song that will come on in a club like all the time or at a party and everyone sings along to it. I don't know if you've ever guys have seen James Acaster on Room 101 talk about this song.
Did he put it in?
He puts this song in Room 101. It's even if you don't agree with him, it's hilarious. So I'd recommend that.
It's the one thing I don't actually like about James Acaster, really.
No, it's hilarious the way he like talks about the song. Like, it's just no, but it's just because he's coming from that point of view that it's played so much.
Overplayed.
It's played so much. You hear it so much, but I do agree with Colin. Like, as far as songs go, you don't get much more catchy than this one.
I want to be slightly controversial.
I'm gonna kill you, man.
In the sense, not in the sense of the song's bad. I don't think "Living on a Prayer" is their best song for me.
Oh, okay. What do you think it is?
"You Give Love a Bad Name."
I mean, yeah. Well, I said there were two choices to most people. That's the other choice. I'm not gonna say you're an idiot for that.
Shot through the heart. Sorry, I won't get.
No
we won't get
copyrighted.
copyrighted.
No copyrighted.
I think it is very good to masterpieces. It can't go any lower than that. Any lower would be a travesty. Even if you kept the lyrics out of it, you've got to start with the guitar. Everyone has memories as a kid having Guitar Manager and playing "Living on a Prayer."
Guitar Manager?
What's Guitar Manager?
Guitar Manager, wow.
Guitar Hero.
Player, Guitar Hero,
You
yeah.
mixed up Guitar Hero and Football Manager there, man.
It's resonated with me a lot. Yeah, so okay, I might as well level
That would be a
out
good
here.
idea for a game.
Yeah,
That,
it would be.
Managing a band. You know?
My laptop's been away for like 2 weeks, and I haven't played me Fix a Football Manager for like 2 weeks. So I have just had it on the brain for quite a while. Yeah, it's withdrawal symptoms.
We still didn't get that game into Blum Platinum.
No, but yeah, that's actually a good idea, Paddy. Guitar Manager. Manage the band. Get them on.
Trademark.
Trademark, guys.
If anyone wants to come to me, I've got the ideas, you know.
If you have any more ideas about Guitar Manager, please leave a comment below and we will steal the idea.
Email me, don't phone me. I won't answer.
Neil, what do you think of this iconic song?
I mean, if it was still a category, it'd be an absolute banger, wouldn't it? It's just great.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly iconic. I was kind of debating in my head whether it has enough lyrical substance to be a masterpiece. But I suppose, it's the simple working class tale, isn't it? So
yeah, come on, man. Tommy used to work at the docks.
Yeah, we're from Liverpool. There's docks there. We're basically Tommy.
The union's been on strike. He's down on his luck.
I mean, come on, you know me, right? I'm very sympathetic to that kind of left-wing power.
He's on the docks.
I can't really criticize it for that. It's very hard to find a point of criticism, isn't it? The song absolutely bangs. So
funny story. I'm sorry for interrupting, but when I was when I was on the dole and I had to go in every week to have a meeting to prove that I was looking for work. One of the jobs that was thoroughly recommended to me was you should try and get work at the docks. It's really good taste. Could you imagine me working the docks?
You would get the tattoos in. You'd love that to be Tommy.
Yes. Neil, sorry for interrupting you. I just figured I'd get that story out of the way. If you want
Don't worry, don't worry.
Should we vote?
Yeah, it's Masterpiece. And I'm putting it in Masterpiece.
Yeah, I agree, Masterpiece. The only negative I can think about is it's overplayed, but that's not a fault of the song. It's overplayed because it's good. So
I'm going to say very good because I know it's going on Masterpiece anyway, because You Give Love a Bad Name is their best song, in my opinion. And like Paddy said, it's overplayed.
Well, no, Jenny, that's okay, because that was like my same logic with Metallica. It's like, as good a song as it is, because I don't think it's the band's best song, can you really say it's a masterpiece?
I for one would say it's a masterpiece. They have some great songs, don't they? But that is, that's the jam.
God, I love you. I love You Give Love a Bad Name so much.
I thought you said I love you.
Well, I love you anyway.
I love you. You stopped at you.
You stopped at you.
I had to switch it quickly because I got embarrassed.
Listen, man, we can do this after the podcast.
Who we got?
All right, Paddy, back to you.
Going from masterpiece to the unmasterpiece. That's a good one. Trash to piece. Dakota by the Stereophonics.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
This could be a bit of a debate because I know a lot of people do like this song, but this is just another one of those songs for me that is an annoying sounding song. I think the instrumental is annoying. I think it's quite a boring song. It doesn't really go anywhere. I think the vocals are pretty poor. Not a lot to them, and I'm interested to hear what you guys think.
I don't like the Stereophonics, so I'm inclined to agree with you.
Yeah.
Neil?
I don't think it's a very good song, is it? It's kind of interesting because it has like a very recognizable sound, doesn't it? But like, you know what? Describing it as a song that doesn't go anywhere is a pretty good way to describe the song, isn't it? Apart from like that last, the last part of it where it gets a bit shoutier, it doesn't go anywhere. The lyrics are. Is it wrong to say that a lot of the singing in the song is mumbled?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't like the vocals at all.
Like mumbling, and I kind of agree. Like it has a bit of an annoying sound, doesn't it? Like the guitar.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really do anything for me, to be honest.
Like, I agree. It's quite a recognizable song because I think you hear it in the background of a lot of places, but it's just not something you'd ever listen to by choice. It's just played a lot. But I wrote some things here. Boring. The instrumental and the chorus is really overbearing. Really just lackluster lyrics, dull vocals. I mean, the only positive I wrote got a little bit of an interesting intro, bit unique, but I mean, really, it's a poor song. It's quite annoying to listen to.
I am looking at the lyrics of it now, and You Make Me Feel Like the One is sung 12 times throughout the song.
Well, that's my main.
Oh my god!
So take a look at me now. It's played like 15 or 16. We are literally looking at the lyrics, and there's a little list.
They just repeat the lyrics, and that's not always a bad thing. That's a sign of a catchy song is one that does repeat its lyrics, but Dakota takes it to an extreme. I've also just quickly, I haven't done a Genius fact yet. After filling it so much, with one
it's Collins's Genius.
I was going to say we need a little jingle for that.
Yeah. So obviously, Genius. When talking about this song, it's this is Stereophonic's 5th record where they finally cracked the mainstream, reaching the top of the UK singles chart and went gold in the UK as well. And then they say that they'd never reached such height or impact in the US. I love Genius. It's somehow so insulting to these songs as well as giving you info about them.
What do you think, man?
I think it's would skip because I do like the actual like music to it, the lyrics of it. Yeah, they repeat themselves a little bit.
27 times.
I think it's maybe a bit too far. Saying, are you putting it in my ears?
No, I'm putting it in my ears.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too far. I think would skip is probably the best course of action, really.
Genuine question.
Yep.
What's the meaning of this song, and why is it called Dakota?
I mean, have you ever been to Dakota? It's great.
The girl's called Dakota. It's a love song.
It's it. You know what? I really couldn't tell from the lyrics of Take
What?
Off.
You couldn't tell from the lyrics. You make me feel like the one. They say it enough times.
Like I said, Dakota's a great place. He just went traveling through Dakota.
Well, the music video is him just driving. Maybe he's in North Dakota at the time.
Having a quick look at Mount Rushmore from the back.
I mean, this is one of Stereophonics' most like iconic songs,
That is
and
the thing, yeah.
that
It
says
is.
a lot. That says
No,
a lot
it is
about the
probably.
band. I don't rate them, and to me, this song is less than Would Skip because it annoys me. Like if it literally like annoys your ears, unpleasant to listen to, that's the definition of my ears are bleeding. And that's where I'm putting it.
I would put it in skip.
I'd never be in a position to have to skip this song, so I can't put it in Would Skip on that logic alone.
Oh, he's putting it in decent then.
No,
How dare you?
no, my ears are bleeding.
Get in.
Oh, you
Another
know what
Winford
that,
party.
You know what that means? The deciding vote strikes again. Oh no, this one's gonna cause contention.
Who are we talking about now, man?
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
I think I know which
yeah,
one we're talking about.
I haven't even done any notes for this because I'm just gonna be shouted at. Robbie Williams, Angels. I would put it Would Skip. And that's all I want to say.
No, you've got to explain.
I think, okay, I think it is overplayed tripe. I think, yeah, I think, I'm going to get shouted at here, aren't I?
Well, it depends, mate, you know.
Nothing I can really say can be backed up by anyone because everyone loves this song. Actually, can I share with you a poll which I found really funny? In 2005, a poll between British people ranked it as the song they most wanted to play at their funeral. Is that because they wanted to be dead before they actually listened to it?
See, you can look at that in two ways. You can look at it as a bad way or a good way. I prefer to look at it as a good way, in that it's an emotional song that means a lot to people and it's memorable, and that's why they want it.
I'm a pessimist here, Paddy. The glass is half empty for me. They just want to be dead.
I'm an optimist. I like the song. I don't think Robbie Williams is the most outstanding artist of all time, but this is his best work. I think lyrically, it's quite a good song. It's a super catchy chorus. I think everyone knows the chorus and can sing along to it.
It does. It just really bores me personally. Like, it's one of those sort of songs that really doesn't do it for me. Yeah, I know. I probably do know it word for word, but that's just because I've heard it so many times rather than I don't want to listen to it myself.
I can't believe someone who goes to the pub as often as you has never can dislike this song.
I mean,
At the end of the night, wherever you are, this song gets played.
I know, but by the end of it, that's probably what's bored me so much.
When you picture yourself listening to this song, you picture yourself in a pub with your arm around your mates, swaying from side to side, singing it. And, like, what's better than that?
I drink alone, Paddy. I don't know what you're on about.
Oh, that's your problem. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Neil?
You want to hear an obscure late 90s British pop comment?
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Here we go.
Angels is not as good as Robbie Williams' She's the One.
Ooh. I think they're quite similar.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they're quite similar songs. Like,
I do like She's the One, you know.
but I think I know I do, but they're quite. That's weird. You know.
I know, that's the thing.
They're
Isn't it?
similar, but I think Angels to me is more memorable. I know the lyrics a lot more to Angels, and it's an iconic song. You can't deny how iconic it is.
It is iconic. That's the thing, and I can't explain it because I'm probably one against the world here. I think I just don't like it.
I think it being overplayed can't come into your logic here because Living on a Prayer is overplayed, but it doesn't decrease.
However, for me that's different. Because I think Living on a Prayer is.
But it's not the fault of the song that it's overplayed.
Let me say a bit more. Like, although I'm making that comparison, I actually think both of those songs are pretty cringy. you need to assess this relative to the other songs on this list, right? I mean, you look at Angels and how it stands up to some of these masterpieces, right? Oh dear, they do not belong on the same list. Certainly not. Also, I would say Angels is one of those songs that probably isn't very good if you haven't had a drink. That's not because of quality.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh God!
Oh my word!
That was an advert on my phone. Apologies.
Um,
For facial cream, if anyone's looking to moisturise their skin, I can hook you up.
We are professionals.
no, I think we should vote unless you guys want to talk more about it because I've said my piece.
I want to talk about one thing. Do you guys know what the story is about this song?
Is it about
well,
Angels?
I heard about
No. The story of the writing.
I was something to do with the plagiarism. It was like written in Ireland. Some guy like claimed he co-wrote it with Robbie Williams in Ireland or something like that.
Yeah. An Irish singer / songwriter claims that he wrote it incomplete as of it being the story of his partner's miscarriage. But Robbie Williams claims that sure, I got like the incomplete version from him. But me and Guy Chambers completely rewrote it. But the story is of Robbie Williams when talking about rewriting it as they rewrote it together. For oh wow, I really hope we have something special here. And they hailed down a cab who played it, and he said, "Oh, that's gonna be number one, mate."
Wow,
that feels like just such a rubbish, untrue story by him.
Yeah, it does, but. I think this could be a difficult vote, this one. But should we do it anyway?
No, actually, let's leave it.
Out of respect.
Let's scrap the tier list altogether.
Most Brits of all time. I mean, maybe that says a lot about British artists that Robbie Williams has the most.
I'm sure N-Dubs has a few Brits, so, that argument.
How dare you?
This song is only decent, let's be honest.
I'm saying decent as well. I think decent as well.
I'm so happy it hasn't gone higher. I thought you were going to say like.
I think it's iconic, but it's nothing groundbreaking.
I'd put it would skip. Neil?
I would skip.
It's a miracle.
Boy, wow. So the fact that Mangan put would skip ended up being the benefit of the doubt again.
It is what it is.
I want Celine Dion back in my ears are bleeding.
Hmm?
Can we put it in would skip?
I said would skip.
No, for Celine Dion.
Are we trying to like?
Well, I mean. We haven't established rules for the voting system.
Are we negotiating it?
But can we keep Celine Dion and decent?
No.
Wait, have you literally put it down now?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have you put Robbie Williams as a would skip?
Oh yeah.
Oh my hands are out of it then. I've got what I want.
Well, hang on. I have followed the rules that we have always used of the person who votes it gets the benefit.
It's not that my ears are bleeding, is it?
No, Celine Dion. Well, yeah.
You know what? The voting system needs
we need a proper meeting.
Needs a reconsider.
We need a meeting.
Well, no. The first episode, I tried to say surely we should do it via averages, and you said nah. It's a democracy.
Well,
we should
it
go.
can
by
be
the
hard
vote.
to work out if people love them in
a meeting next time.
All these different places.
Remember this, folks. If it's not an averages based, we know we've done wrong. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, Neil.
Okay. It's probably time to talk about what many consider the greatest rock song of all time. You got a 50% chance of guessing what it is from what's on.
Nickelback, how you remind me.
Never made it as a band man. Never made as a poor man stealing.
Let's talk about Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, you damn man. I won't be loath.
Often truly, honestly considered the greatest rock song of all time. Because it's a seminal piece by one of the most iconic bands ever. And I personally believe it's fantastic. Like, what a journey, what a emotional symphony of music. It's such a great song.
Oh dear.
Paddy, please tell them what you think.
Paddy, please do not tell me you're going to do what I think you're about to do.
I said at the start of this may be controversial.
I don't want to say it.
Do it.
I'm instantly going to get. Please don't shout at me.
Okay, guys, we need to not shout at Paddy immediately.
Don't worry, I'm not putting it anywhere below decent. Just in case you were thinking.
Thought. I'm sorry.
Remember?
Where you
I
put
literally
Celine
said I was going to get
Dion's
shouted at.
My Heart Will Go On
Collins,
in very good.
We've got
No, I
enough.
didn't.
Led Zeppelin's
Oh, yeah, I did.
decent.
Oh, yeah.
We've got enough shout at him yet. Not yet.
I said don't shout at me, and I actually didn't say decent. I don't want to say it. I think it's a little overrated.
Oh!
my god!
I'm cringing.
Neil, smite him.
Right, okay. Where do I even start with that opinion? I mean,
It's wrong.
What's wrong with the song? Like, it is what it is, right? It kind of has that thing. I appreciate it has a fairly unique structure as it goes. It's a long song that builds, but my word, it's so poignant in what it says, isn't it? Robert Plant's vocals are haunting. Jimmy Page's guitar slams. I mean, I absolutely love the song. I will admit, the version on the album is not my favourite version of the song. The live, I think it's a live at Madison Square Garden version that I love even more. But honestly, even the recorded version that we've got on this list is seminal. It's iconic. It's like food for the mind. It's art, you know.
Can I tell you at least why I say what I say? I feel like I have to defend myself here. I'm not saying it's bad, okay, for a start. Obviously, it isn't. I can appreciate it from a musical perspective. It is a bit of a work of art. And I love the eeriness to it. I really love eerie music. And this is like a perfect example of that. It's another thing. I have a little problem with songs that go on for that long. For a start, I don't think it's musically as complex as it's made out to be.
I think it's one of the greatest songs of all time. I think it's one of the greatest songs of all time. The perfect build and the crescendo at the end of the guitar make it, and the vocals and everything about it. The lyrics make it. It reminds me like it's. Like you say, it's eerie, but I think it complements itself so well to everything. Like, I will let you keep on going, probably, because you're digging a hole.
What's it called? Give me a minute. Cook amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Hang on. Just to talk more about the song. Does anyone enjoy that if you play it backwards, you hear satanic messages?
That's why Paddy didn't like it.
Yeah,
we figured it out. As we figured it out, it's like, oh, this is a bit too satany for my little taste.
Yeah, it's probably the most prominent example that was ever given with all the rock and roll is satanic.
The
Satanic
Illuminati.
is, if you play it backwards, you'll hear satanic worship. It's like it's believed that if you play it backwards, that you'll hear "Here's to my sweet Satan, the one whose little path would make me sad, whose power is Satan. He'll give you 666." I don't understand what that means. Like what?
Do you think they missed out a word? It's not IAT.
Yeah.
I feel like we should stress here the tier list in no way endorses satanic rituals or incantations.
Oh god, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll just hide all my equipment.
We are a good group of Christian boys who
We're good Catholics.
We went to Catholic high schools.
That's the. I prefer the immigrant song.
You were gonna say something about I don't know what.
Yeah, I didn't title the song.
Oh no, I thought you were literally gonna say something else there when we started talking about us being good Catholics.
I wasn't listening. I prefer the immigrant song.
really comparable.
That is not working.
Yeah, but it's one of their songs.
Yeah, but
I prefer.
So different.
Neil.
Yeah, but I prefer that song as one of theirs.
I would like to say, as a record for this podcast, I have never heard Neil so animated on this show yet. And I don't blame him whatsoever.
You put me on a subject, I love this kind of music, and I appreciate art and I appreciate rock, and The Immigrant Song, it's like 2 minutes long, isn't it? It's like 2 minutes long, man.
It's short and sweet.
Oh, don't.
It's quality, not quantity. Okay. Just because something's long doesn't mean it's good.
For your birthday, do you want a shovel? Because you'll just keep taking yourself a hole here.
Listen, mate. Vote. Let's vote. Let's just put it masterpiece. I know you're all putting masterpiece. So I mean, I'm saying very good. Put it masterpiece.
You said decent.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I said I would. No, I said I wouldn't put it anywhere lower than decent.
That's us.
At the end of the day, Paddy, my number one thing about you is that you think Celine Dion is as good as Led Zeppelin.
I don't.
Well, you put them both in very good.
No, we're not judging the artist. We're judging one song.
I want to stop you there, can't he? Put Celine Dion in masterpiece.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
We're judging one song here. We're judging one song, not them as an artist. Which is one song. I would prefer to listen to the Celine Dion one than stay with them.
Right.
Oh, come on.
That's possible. That's possible. Music is subjective. There's no right or wrong.
Oh, I told you.
That's possible.
Before we started this, I literally went to Paddy. You are going to be controversial at some point in this.
But that's possible. I mean, it's not
You know what?
Bottom tier.
Paddy, it's possible. It's something that would get you sent to an insane asylum, but it's possible.
Listening to Stairway to Heaven for the rest of your life.
I wouldn't listen to either of the songs like by choice, but
right. Let's be honest. This is going masterpiece. If it goes anywhere else,
Yeah,
I think
put it there.
It's already been put in masterpiece.
Say if that would have been a sham.
Right. So with my next choice, I'm sticking with the Bon Jovi train.
Okay.
It was very much sort of a thing where when I realised I'd done Living on a Prayer, but Bon Jovi seemed to only do power ballads. Like have you seen like the full list of their songs?
Honestly, no.
Well, there's obviously Living on a Prayer and you Shot Through the Heart, You Give Love a Bad Name. So they're two most famous, both power ballads. Then there's Always a song about how they'll always be there for you. Weirdly, that one is seem quite similar to Aerosmith. But there's also Bad Medicine, where your love is like bad medicine. And then there's the one that I'm going to talk about now. My next choice is I'll Be There For You, a song that is just nothing. Like I say this as Bon Jovi is my favourite band, but this song is just nothing. It's just I felt like I had to bring this up because of the fact that you talk about one of the most iconic songs of all time and Living on a Prayer, and the same people could bring this out. It feels disappointing. It's also incredibly similar to Always. Like if you listen to both of those songs back to back, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one was which.
When was this released?
I'll Be There For You. I could have sworn it's still in the 80s.
Like, was this released before or after Living on a Prayer?
Oh, good question. I believe it was after, but I'll check. Okay, so this was released in 1988. Living on a Prayer was released in 1986. So after, 2 years after.
What do you think about this song, Paddy?
I don't mind it. Like, I think the chorus is stuck in my head. Like, it is a bit catchy. I think I agree the rest of the song is a bit nothing. The chorus has stuck in my head. It's not brilliant, but I think it's listenable. But it's not going to be in the top 2 tiers. Let's be honest.
Like I honestly, when I saw 2 Bon Jovi songs, I was like, oh, nice, because obviously I know Living on a Prayer, and this did nothing for me. I didn't like this song really. I think Bon Jovi did so much with what he had, basically, in a sense. It just wasn't something I would probably listen to. I probably wouldn't put this here as a bleeding, but I wouldn't put it past would skip, really. Neil?
I reckon sometimes when you're listening to like Bon Jovi like albums, right, you do kind of start to feel at certain points like you're hearing the same song like over and over. I know like that's partly because they have a certain style and a very recognizable set of vocals, but this song is one of them. I reckon it's one of them that you could just find on any Bon Jovi album and think, it's a Bon Jovi song, without really thinking much else of it. It's pretty generic. That's what I'd say. I think it's one of those fillery songs that Bon Jovi have on their albums that doesn't really do anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that. It's just kind of generic. There's nothing that makes it out as anything more than. Don't get me wrong. Like, your bog standard Bon Jovi is a pretty good time. I would totally listen to this song if I was having a walk or something, but it's not exactly something that. Well, I mean, you can listen to some Bon Jovi songs and you probably wouldn't even remember the name of what this is by the end, right? It's forgettable. Generic.
Jay, you say like it's the most generic Bon Jovi song. I reckon those like those videos and articles of like we got an AI to write a Bon Jovi song. It would just be this song.
Right, Collins. What I'm gonna say here is not an attack on Bon Jovi.
I will treat it as such.
But do you think like they are a victim of their own success? Like they're living on a prayer, you give love a bad name, stuff like that.
Oh God, yeah. They only do power ballads. It feels like literally. I started this with Bon Jovi. My word, that man likes to sing about his love.
Yeah, it's
they reached the highest of highs and they never really and they tried to recreate them with the exact same formula. Unfortunately, 2 years later, we ended up with this.
Yeah, this is. Is there anything else we can really say about this that would do it justice in a sense? Or shall we get right to the voting?
Let's vote.
Yeah, to me, it's decent. Just because I still do. Because at the end of the day, Bon Jovi are my favorite band. I'm gonna like. I like all their songs. It's just this is really forgettable for a Bon Jovi song. It's still decent to me though.
I'm gonna say would skip, personally.
I agree with Collins's logic. Your standard Bon Jovi song is still a pretty decent time. So decent is a good place to put it.
Yeah, I would say decent. I could listen to this song just because the chorus has a catchy element to it. Apart from that, it's not anything groundbreaking, but it's listenable.
If there's one thing Bon Jovi can do, it's a chorus.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't think they actually have a bad chorus on any of their songs.
I've just noticed something that really surprises me. We have more masterpieces than My Ears Are Bleeding, which is saying a lot about Power Ballads.
Well,
Power Ballads
got the exact same because I put Celine Dion in My Ears Are Bleeding.
You lied to us. You lied to
No,
us.
I didn't.
You said it was on Would Skip.
I said I put Robbie Williams in Would Skip.
You said he did say Celine Dion was on Would Skip. Oh my word.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Who's next?
It's yours. It's your last one. Yeah, it's your last one.
Final pick.
You can't wait.
Yay! I've gone with another modern one here.
Okay.
I feel like you guys don't like it when I go.
No, I actually like this one.
More modern ones, but for me, this is a really lovely song, and I don't say lovely often, so it must be good. I think
You sound like a grandmother. Oh, it's lovely.
No, exactly. It's the best word to describe this song. It's lovely. I think the best thing about this is the vocal combination of the two artists, Mickey Echo and Rihanna. Like they work so well together. I think he complements her so well. Like I love his vocals. They're like so haunting and so eerie. Like when he comes in for that second verse. And I love the piano, backing piano. It's a simple instrumental to the song, it's super effective. And it's a really emotional song with powerful vocals. And what's not to like?
I think for modern Power Ballad, this is pretty good. I think this could give us hope that Power Ballad is not, well, it might be dying, but there is still life in it. I think because I think it's impressive because Rihanna, let's be honest, she can do a lot of genres. You know, she does something as beautiful as this, and then she can put out S&M.
Put out something like Work,
Yeah.
which is a seminal piece of crap.
Yeah. But
compared to this,
like, I think this is really good. Yeah. You guys?
Yeah, we've not really given Power Ballads much of a good rap. We have kind of said they've died a death with our choices of songs. Here, but the Power Ballad lives on with this song, I feel.
Neil?
Ooh, so you know, much earlier in the podcast, I said like Camille Sabayo was limited by the song, right? But her vocals were really good.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon this is the opposite because I personally don't rate Rihanna's vocals very highly. I don't know, they just don't really agree with me. But I like the song. I like the song a lot. And one of my favourite bands is Churches, the Scottish electro band. They did a Spotify singles, is that it? Yeah, cover of this song, and oh my god, it's incredible. This is such a good song. It's so powerful, and it has just for power ballad. It sets the right mood, the right kind of timing, the right kind of emotion, and it has that build up and that beautiful piano. It's got all the elements there. I just don't particularly rate Rihanna as a singer as much as most people do. So I don't know. I like the song more than the singer in this.
Yeah, if you listen to Rihanna live, she hasn't got the most pleasant vocals compared to a lot of other female artists. I think she's a pretty good vocalist. I think her vocals shine through on this song more than any of her other songs. But I think Mickey Echo really drives this song from the second verse. Like his vocals really like take the song to a new level. Like they're so haunting and so, as it says, so eerie, so haunting, so fitting for the song. Really capture the emotion of it. And I'm surprised I haven't heard of him doing anything else from this because he's got such a good voice.
Yeah, I haven't really heard of him after that. Has he ever done much, or is
Not
that
that I've
literally
heard.
it?
Not that I've heard. Well, considering this is a modern power ballad, I didn't think this would go down as well as it has with you lot. So I'm happy with that, and I'm going to kick the voting off by submitting a very good.
I think you're going a bit too far, maybe. I'd say decent. I think it's very good for what it is, especially in this modern era for power ballads. I think it's decent.
Yeah, I think it's decent.
I think decent's fair too. If you want to see what I think is a very good version of this song, though, seriously, go listen to Church's Spotify singles version of it.
I didn't know they were Scottish, actually.
What else did they do?
Oh,
they did "Here with Me" with Marshmallow.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I really like that song.
Honestly, listen to their vocalist Laura Mabry's interview accents. It's mad how Scottish she is. She's 100% Scottish.
Is it kind of like Lewis Capaldi in a sense?
Mate, honestly, the best thing to do is go on YouTube and see an interview. You will be quite shocked at the voice that comes out of that rather petite woman. It's quite mad.
What do we? Oh my god! You make it sound like she's Braveheart. Right.
Should we move on?
Yeah, go on.
Something decent.
I want to go with my big boy. I want to go with Meatloaf Bar Hell. Masterpiece.
And move on.
I think this is. You were saying before that a long song can go on. You need to sort of
captivate.
Yeah, you need to captivate, and this does. This is basically you want value for your money. This is 3 songs in one. It's a good opening instrumental. It's the song about him on the bike there. It's the sort of the last stand almost of when he crashes, and he's got that almost poem of how he's on the ground dying. Also, you've got the guitar, the lyrics of it. Apparently, the writer wanted it to be sort of part of a rock and roll sci-fi Peter Pan, in his words, and it's also compared a bit to Springsteen. Born to Run album, like, and we said a couple of them, like Metallica and Oasis. We've said that they're very good because it's not their best work. Bat Out of Hell is by far Meatloaf's best work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I know me and Collins were saying we not the biggest fans of Meatloaf because of his long music, but there's always exceptions to rules, and this is the exception in this case because like this song is super, super dynamic. Probably one of the greatest songs of all time. It's long, but it keeps you in. It keeps you captivated because it's constantly changing. It's constantly switching up. It can go from fast paced to slow paced, and it keeps you in. And it really is one of the best songs ever made, probably.
I mean, how often is it that a song as long as Bat Out of Hell can, like... Well, put it this way, how many people can probably go and belt out a 9 minutes karaoke song like they can Bat Out of Hell? Like, it's the whole thing, right?
I have actually belted out a karaoke of this with the person who requested this video, Alicia, in Bangor Uni.
It's so good. Nah, the song's great. It's got like I praise so much with Rush. It's got a really, really great story, and it feels like an experience, doesn't it? It really does feel a bit like a show. It feels very grand. Like you can feel everything that's going on. The story is so poundy, and it's got such a good pace to it, and it really feels like it has. It's hard to describe, but like the song has this kind of texture that comes from the lyrics, the vocals, and the music that make it feel very real and tangible. Like it's a song that you can really like imagine happening. That's amazing.
Honestly, I am pretty disappointed when I hear it on the radio and it's not the full 9 minute version.
I mean, they couldn't though.
They can certainly try.
When would you have an advert? Play one song and an advert again? Like that's what it has to be.
But yeah, this is probably one of my favorite songs of all time, and because I have such fond memories listening to this song with my family. When we go on holiday, we drive to France, and we'd have the Meatloaf album on, and this is one like nostalgia, and it's very warranted because it's still an amazing song.
Meatloaf's vocals are brilliant as well because like you can like hear the emotion, you can hear the anger. There's like an anger to his voice, like when he's singing about hell, and there's something really raw and authentic about that.
That's the thing. He can go so loud and then quite soft as well at the same time.
Collins, I'm interested to hear what you think of this.
Don't like Meatloaf. Don't like the song. Have physically left the club that I've just walked into because I heard this song on.
I mean,
it's so much.
I hate his voice.
Wow.
Is that the only reason?
See, I got yelled at for the Led Zeppelin thing. Come on, lads, show me a bit of support here.
All right,
I want some yelling.
Collins, you poo.
Oh, you tell him, lad. He's got me back.
I completely see your points of why you like this song. At the end of the day, I hate Meatloaf. His voice in particular, I can't listen to one of his songs. I've never even made it 2 minutes through Bat Out of Hell.
Oh, so that's the instrumental done. You haven't even heard them sing.
Exactly.
The thing is, it's not a song that I'm going to listen to frequently because I just can't do long songs. But it's like I have to take myself a step aside and say it's just a brilliant piece of music, regardless of whether I would listen to it often or not.
Like I said, it is by far his best work.
Yeah, masterpiece, surely.
Yeah, for me, it's a masterpiece. I don't think it can go anywhere else, really. It is one of my favourite songs, and it's fully warranted. Neil?
It's not actually my favourite Meatloaf song, to be honest.
What's yours?
Is it Crying Out Loud?
Dashboard Lights is my favourite.
Ooh!
But I still think for what it is, it is a masterpiece for what it is. It's an incredible song.
Yeah, all right. Masterpiece. No worries. Yeah, masterpiece.
Come on, Neil. Let's do this.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm on this podcast is because I never made it as a wise man. So, hey, here we are. I finished this by debating Nickelback. How you remind me of... what I really am, because I need to be reminded of the existence of this song, and that makes me very sad. Wow, it's a song that's completely soulless. Can I just put it like that? The song doesn't really have any soul. Nickelback is a band that doesn't really have any soul. A pop band masquerading as a rock band, trying to create something that's deep, but in reality is completely fake. And that's what I really hate about this song. It's fake, it's a fake.
So we put in this masterpiece then.
And Neil, do you
Agreed.
know that that How You Remind Me was the best-selling rock song of the decade?
Rock!
Do you also know it was the 4th best-selling song in general of the decade?
It is mental. This is absolutely mental.
I don't know how many people Chad Kroger had to pay for that to happen, but I mean, good on him, mate. Good on you. You know what? It takes a special genius to create such a fake song and make people think it's good. You know what? Amazing job, mate. Congratulations. You know what? By doing that, your success, congratulations, but you stained my heart.
I mean,
That's
I can't wait for him to hear this.
Oh yeah.
It's really horrible, because it's so catchy. That's the thing. Not even joking. When we finished recording, was it Wednesday? On Wednesday, we just couldn't stop singing this song, and it was quite annoying.
It's one of those songs that you hate to like. Like Nickelback has such negative connotations around them because they are this kind of like pop rock kind of, band, but you can't. I just can't escape the catchiness. I can't escape how much I've been singing this in my head since I was reminded of the song. Ironically,
that's the thing. Neil likes to hate it. We hate to like it.
And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Spider-Man as well, and that's a good thing.
Oh God.
Hey Neil,
Hey.
did you know in 2006 Nickelback won the world's best-selling rock artist award, beating out Green Day, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Coldplay?
Oh my God.
Coldplay.
I think Coldplay is a bit generous as well, but
Coldplay,
the other two.
Hey Neil, do you know that Nickelback have won 32 awards and been nominated 78 times?
Yeah, Cons, let me tell you about a list that I was reading before, and I have to say that I'm really sad not to find Nickelback on it. But I went on the list of songs that were played to torture prisoners at Guantanamo, and unfortunately, it's not there. And I think that's a terrible mistake by the US administration, because that should totally be just that song on repeat.
Yeah, Neil, can I ask what was on there?
The theme from Barney the Dinosaur.
What? That's disgraceful. That's masterpiece tier all day, that.
Baby One More Time.
Okay, get
Bodies
behind
by
that.
Drowning Pool.
What?
By Christina Aguilera.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
And actually, I do want to attack Collins a bit with his statistics about how many awards Nickelback won. Two Broke Girls won an Emmy.
Two Broke Girls won an Emmy for a camera angle shot.
They still won it. That's
Fantastic.
still on their desk.
Fantastic. Nickelback won Record of the Year with a UK Public Voted Award for Rockstar in 2008. That's an award that matters.
Mate, the UK voted for Brexit, and
We voted to Tories.
Ow.
Oh no, we've got political.
We have to when Nickelback's involved.
At the end of the day, How You Remind Me is a Grammy-nominated song.
Wow.
Which is scary.
Oh,
It didn't win just to, make...
Who did?
In 2003, I'm going to check.
I'm going to really struggle to place this one. That's the thing.
The thing, my heart wants to put it in Would Skip, but the catchiness
No.
of it is...
My head wants to put it in Would Skip. My heart wants to put it in Very Good.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Can I make some head arguments here?
Yeah.
Think about the other songs on this list. Just think.
That
this
is very good.
comparison.
That is very true.
Yeah, but how catchy is it? Like,
No, he's
that is the
right.
sign of a great song.
He's right. We are comparing How You Remind Me to Metallica, Fade to Black. We have to look at it like that. Actually,
Mangan, these lyrics speak to me, to my soul. I never made it as a blind man.
Neither did I, to be honest with you, because I'm not blind.
Look, at the end of the day, you want to hear a bad version of this song? Listen to Avril Lavigne's cover. That'll make you think this is a masterpiece.
That guy, God, didn't he marry Avril Lavigne or something?
Yeah, he's married to her.
He did.
Wow, that's really random.
That crap. And you get Avril Lavigne to be a part of it. Hey, all right, cool.
Bro, Avril Lavigne.
That's Kroger's Fantasy World.
Avril Lavigne.
Don't.
Mate, don't even deny you like Avril Lavigne.
Don't.
I'm going to kick the voting off. Otherwise, we could debate this for 10 years.
We all want to be just big rock stars.
Oh,
I like that song as well, again, but I don't want him. I'm going to say decent.
Hang on, no, one last thing.
Oh,
Photograph is genuinely an emotional song that is about how you need to keep photos of your memories due to the fact that our minds wear away as we get older and we can forget the good things in our lives. So take photographs. That's a genuinely emotional song. Nickelback isn't as bad as people make it out. It's just fun to hate them.
Guys, is it okay if I can get a pillow and some blankets because I feel like I'm going to be here a while?
No, that photograph's come a meme as well, though. A bit like my arm will go on.
Attack that.
Look at this graph meme. You know, seen that?
Yeah, I was going to say.
But can we vote? Can we vote before I lose my mind?
Would skip.
I wouldn't skip. I'm sorry, I'd listen to it. It's listenable, mate, but it shouldn't be, which is why I'm going to put it decent.
My ears are bleeding so much.
Okay, Collins, deciding vote here.
Oh, no.
The tension is unbearable.
I know what he's going to do.
See, I kind of want to just screw Gil over and say decent.
I know what he's going to do because he wants to use the one vote.
It's a decent, lads.
Oh.
It's
At
decent.
the end of the day, I knew I just needed one person on my side and to make sure Mangan and Neil went agreeing with each other.
I'm going to put it in my ears are bleeding.
I'm doing it. You already voted.
No, you can't change your mind because of it, I'm afraid. It is what it is.
Do you know what? I feel like through what's just happened, I've actually discovered the greatest power ballad of all time. Because, you know, in that moment then, I felt all of my hope just die away.
So you're going to write the song?
The song was going through my head as it was dying away. My Heart Will Go On by Silly.
Come on, lads. Come on. Get it back in there, lads. Get it in, Masterpiece.
Got the votes in.
We just said you can't change votes.
Fine. Should we move on to the final?
Yeah. So my final choice is Foreigners. I want to know what love is. I hate this song.
Wow.
This guy sings like my ears are deaf. Like I feel partly deaf listening to this man sing. He's got this weird way of somehow being quite loud, but also mumbling his words.
You know what it is? I've just realised that songs that have love in the chorus, I find really irritating. What is love? I want to know what love is. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. I find all these songs so irritating.
I want to talk to Neil about this as the only person who's actually knows what love is.
Thank you.
Being engaged and everything. What do you think of this song?
I mean, you know, to be honest, if you're making a song about love, they don't normally apply generically, right? Like, actually, to be honest, I'd say, you know, a relationship has its own kind of songs, right? You know, between the two of you, you kind of know the songs that you might love the most, right? Remember that episode of Family Guy with, like, they focus on, like, Africa by Toto? That's a terrible example, but, you know, there you go. I don't really know any couple that would probably think that song by Foreigner would be there, you know. It's always been a bit memey, hasn't it? It's a song
Yeah.
you can't really take very seriously.
I think it is a really cheesy song for what it is.
This is not the soundtrack to anyone's relationship. It's really
It's-
not.
Its music video is hilarious. It's
You
like
know-
at one point the chorus breaks out and he's talking to children.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Was Rolf Harrison? Oh no, I can't say that.
Well, I think you can, to be honest. I think he deserves it, to be honest, mate.
But no, you know what this kind of song reminds me of? If I was to say it would be in this movie, you know what it would be? Team America World Police. I would see something like that in it because it is really cheesy. But,
I think you've got to give a little bit of credit. It's you know, it's used a lot in movies and that for a reason.
Yeah.
It's got a catchy element to it, but to me, it kind of is quite painful to listen to. Like it's one of those songs you hear it come on, you go, oh God, not this. Like, yeah, you dread it coming on, and for that, it's my ears are bleeding.
Yeah, I've genuinely had the question now. Like, all these songs about love, though, all they have love in the title, all that kind of stuff. Does anyone who's like actually in love think that they're great songs, or are they actually songs just designed for people who are?
Hold on. The thing is, if it's a good love song, doesn't need to say it's about love.
that's the thing. Like, I've been in relationships before, and never like with me girlfriend ever thought like, love songs are the best. It's just been random songs.
Well, like love songs can be good, but the ones that don't have love in them, because you don't have to have love in them. You don't have to tell everyone that it's about love. Like, it should be more subtle. Like, if you're saying the word love over and over, it just gets corny and cheesy, and it's not, and it takes the emotion out of the song.
That'd be a good tier list, actually. Love songs.
Would
See
be.
which one's not the cheesy ones.
Would be good.
They're just power ballads.
Yeah.
I go on. I choose Living on a Prayer. I don't want to miss a thing. I'll be there for you. My heart will go on. And what was my other choice? But yeah, those will be my choices for love songs.
I've lost quite a couple of songs from that. You know, I can't do Battle of Hell, which is about a man riding his bicycle,
Mate, don't worry.
motorcycle and crashing as a love song.
There's plenty, even for a Power Ballads Part 2. There's plenty. So should we vote?
Yeah, I would put it would skip.
Ears are bleeding, mate.
I would skip.
Well, personally, because Celine Dion's so awful, this is in my would skip.
Fair enough.
Oh. Well, what a tier list that was. Like I said, I would like to thank Alicia for that. And to anyone else who's listening to this, if you want some suggestions, please put them in the comments below. And while you're doing that, like the video and subscribe and all that. Collins, any final words?
Yeah. Good episode this week, lads. Nickelback, what a band.
Neil?
I mean, you know, now, like, I'm just starting to doubt this whole, like, power ballad thing. Like, what, like, God, if we're thinking that Nickelback is, like, I just don't even know. What's the point? People in relationships don't even care about songs about love. They find their own songs to express their love. What is the point? Is this a pointless genre? I'm so worried.
We've destroyed Neil's confidence in Power Ballads.
Oh,
Patrick?
If you want to write a good song, don't put love in the title.
And for me, I might as well say what I've been saying for the past few episodes. We now have social media in Twitter and Instagram, the Tier List Podcast. We've actually been doing a bit of rebranding, a lot of it being with Neil's help. He's done quite a few good logos, so we're starting to change that. Like I said, if you want to know more about the podcast, follow on Twitter and Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, and with all our different podcast channels such as Spotify, Anchor, Break Podcast, Google Podcast, and a couple more. But anyway, from us, this has been the Tier List Podcast. We'll see you in a bit, guys.